Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Shit's about to hit the fan. Welcome to Unsanctioned Thursdays on Wrestling with Freddie.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Unsanctioned Thursdays, the show that makes our podcast just a little bit longer. And I wish all of you a happy Halloween time, because it's the spooky season. Maybe you're listening to this as it comes out. Maybe you're listening to it on Halloween itself. Maybe you're just need something to do while kids are coming to just bother you and ring your doorbell 24/7, and you just want a nice 15-minute break where you let the wife or you let your husband deal with it and you listen to us bullshit with you about our not top, but some of our favorite horror films of all time, because wrestling and horror go hand in hand, Jeff. Just like you and I, we walk holding hands, and so does wrestling and horror films.
Everywhere we go.
That's right.
I want people to know I'm friends with you. I'm proud of you. This is the best time of year. October's my favorite month for that reason. Also because baseball gets really good. But it's fun because you get Halloween, you got wrestling. That's why Halloween Havoc used to be like one of my favorite pay-per-views.
Hell yeah.
Just because it's gimmicky. I just liked the gimmick. So I'm excited about it.
Growing up in New Mexico, Halloween took on a huge Mexican influence, and it was basically Mexican Halloween every single year. And Mexican Halloween is the best Halloween, man. Because everybody's mom cooks. So if you want to go into someone's house and not just get candy, you were eating like a king that night. The only thing that sucked was these high school guys fucking egged me one year. And I think I've said this before. I was dressed up like a werewolf, like John Moxley, and I had corn syrup and cotton balls to make it stick to my face, and it dyed it brown. So I looked legit. I looked like the werewolf in Teen Wolf, but the dad, not the Michael J. Fox wolf, the dad wolf. And these guys threw eggs and it got all stuck. I was 12, 13, so I couldn't fight them back. They would have whooped up on me, and they cracked eggs all over us. It sucked, man. So fuck Halloween. So here's some great movies. Didn't affect me in any way at all.
You're the scary movie guy.
I love scary movies. I'm getting ready to go make another one, so I'm excited for that. I'll be in Australia still recording this show for you guys because we love you. But without any further ado, here's some of my favorites. Jeff, we can go back and forth. I'm going to hit you guys with a couple foreign films because I want you to hopefully see some stuff you haven't seen yet. And then one new film, one B movie, because I think B movies deserve love too. And then one mainstream, let's go, this is my favorite of the franchise kind of movie. So I'm going to start with something really creepy, Jeff, that I want you to check out too if you haven't seen it already. And it comes from Japan, and it stars Ryo Ishibushi, who was in The Grudge with my wife, another cool scary movie. He was also an American Yakuza with Viggo Mortensen back in the 80s, and he was the head singer of a fucking death metal band in Japan for years in the 80s and 90s because he's a badass dude. He's the lead in a movie called Audition. And Audition is this creepy horror movie about this widower whose son says, you need to get back in the dating pool, Dad. And his buddy, who's a TV producer, is like, you got to get back in the dating pool, bro. And this guy's like, you know what? I think I need to get back in the dating pool. And his buddy says, it's different now, man. Women are different. Men are different. The rules of dating are different. Here's what we do. I'm a producer. You're a news journalist. You're going to sell me one of your stories. We're going to say we're making it a movie, and the lead role in it, we're going to audition all these females. You'll be at every audition. And the Japanese audition isn't just you come in and read a scene. You write an essay as to who you are and why you want to execute the role. And with that comes a headshot as well. So you're getting a psychological profile and a photo of 1,000 women that all want to come in for this role. And he finds the girl of his dreams. And the producer has this crazy line in it. He goes, we won't hire the best. We won't get you the best actor to be your wife because the best actors are always crazy and you don't want crazy in your life, which is a great line and oddly accurate from time to time. So he finds this girl who's the third best for the job, but he falls in love with her, Jeff. And he's reading her essay and all the girls' essays and their photos. And instead of swiping left, because it was before there was that app, he's just taking the essay and throwing it off to the left, casting it aside until he finds her. And of course he finds a psychopath, and she fucking chloroforms him, and he passes out, and she does all this, she ties him to the floor and does acupuncture all over his body, but in crazy pain points, and is putting one close to his eyeball and is here, kitty, kitty, kitty. She's saying something in Japanese, but it's so creepy and horribly awesome. And I love this movie. And if you guys haven't seen it, you need to see it too. Jeff, it's your turn.
All right, I'm gonna start with my favorite horror movie of all time, but it's not a classic and it's not like a legendary movie. It came out, I think, 5-6 years ago. It's 3 different movies in one. You'll start the movie thinking it's about one thing, and then a different thing happens, and then jumps to a whole different thing. And it's such a beautifully made movie. But since it's not old, I don't think it gets the respect that I think it deserves. It's called Barbarian.
Yep.
And what I will tell you is, don't watch a trailer. Don't ask your friends about it. Just go, hey, I listened to this podcast. These guys talking about wrestling told me to watch Barbarian. Let's put it on, honey. Let's put on this movie, see what happens. It is such a good movie.
Tons of fun. Legitimately 3 movies in one. And just know, if Justin Long is in your horror film, he's going to fucking die.
He's in some good ones, dude. I think
Jeepers
Justin Long
Creepers
has a great...
to Barbarian and everything in between.
Drag Me to
He's in
Hell.
your movie. Yeah, it's going bad for Justin. And we love Justin, so we don't want bad things to happen, which is why he's so well cast in all of them.
He's awesome.
Next, I want to do a newer movie too. I'm going to do a movie. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to do a movie from just last year. And this one, you can watch it on streaming. It's one of my favorite movies of the year as far as horror movies go, but honestly, that's all I see. And it's called Strange Darling. And like Jeff's description of the last one, it's not what you think. You can watch the trailer if you want. I recommend never watching trailers and going into every movie cold. It's, if Pulp Fiction was a horror film, you're not going to know what is up from down and left from right, because the movie plays in chapters that are out of order, and you don't figure it out until about this halfway through the second act, which is about 3 chapters in, 3 chapters that have been told out of order. But all of a sudden, these breadcrumbs are starting to form a slice of bread, and it's a delicious sandwich when it's done, Jeff. This movie was so much fun. Strange Darling. That's all I'll say about it. You can watch the trailer if you want, but as always, I recommend you do not. Go ahead, Mr. Jeff.
This next one isn't the scariest movie in the world, but it is about a serial killer, and it's a very funny movie. Now, I love weird things. I know I look like a cookie cutter guy who'd sell you a finance plan or some sort of house or something, but I love strange, weird
It's the Cardigan,
things.
bro.
I know. I love movies like Hell Comes to Frogtown with Roddy Piper. I love like a strange, weird, what am I watching? Like, it almost makes you appreciate it. Like sure, a 5-star restaurant's good, but not as good as some seedy, divey little dump. You know, some things are so nice bad. Too. Yeah, some things are so bad they circle back around to amazing. Now, there's a movie called The Greasy Strangler. From start to finish, it is easily the most unusual movie you'll ever see in your life. It's so funny, so weird, and so amazing. You're most likely going to start the movie and after 15 minutes be like, this is ridiculous. I'm turning it off. But if you make it the whole movie and you enjoy it, we have the exact same movie taste.
My next one is a classic, Jeff. It's also a sequel. I think it's not the best in the franchise, but it's certainly my favorite in the franchise, mainly because I had a crush on the lead actor in it. She was so hot and so cool. It was Patricia Arquette, and it's Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. This was the Dream Warriors, you guys. This was Patricia Arquette, not new to the business, but her biggest role to date. And she comes in, the whole Arquette family can act their ass off, which is wild. And they've all been wildly successful. She has control over her dreams to a certain degree and can pull other people into them. And she uses this power and teaches her friends how to use their own powers. And they all go after Freddie in a dream to whip his ass for a change and show him what it's like to be hunted. Because it sucks being hunted, Jeff. It's better to be the hunter. And that's exactly what they do. Now, it doesn't work out well for everyone. And Part 4 kind of lets you know how it ties up any loose ends in 3, but the movie ends super clean. Patricia Arquette is awesome. And the other girl, I can't remember her name. She was like the exact opposite of Patricia Arquette, but she was awesome too. And the dudes are super cool. I don't remember any of their names, but Lawrence Fishburne was in it, credited as Larry Fishburne, and he's just as good as he's always been. Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
That is a great choice. All those movies, like just because we are picking movies that you might not have seen doesn't mean the classics don't deserve their love. Right. This next movie is weird, but in a mainstream way. So it's not weird the way that Greasy Strangler's weird, but it's weird in like, who thought of this film?
Yeah.
And they should be rewarded for taking such a big swing on this type of horror film. It's called Cabin in the Woods.
Oh yeah.
It's gotten its flowers for how unique it was. But I just think it is such a cleverly written movie. It starts in a way that like is very generic to like any sort of horror film, and you're like,
it makes you lower your guard, and then it kicks you in the face.
Yeah. And then it justifies why it started so routinely, the same way a horror film generally starts. So watch that movie, that'll explain itself. But Cabin in the Woods, great film. Write it down.
All right, I got 2 left. The next one is another foreign film. This one's from Italy, and it's from Dario Argento, and who is sort of a master of a type of horror called giallo. And giallo horror basically was, we have no budget and the script's not done, but we're going to lose the money if we don't shoot it now. So we're just going to make this friggin' movie. Here's the key elements. Fucking rock and roll. Do all the actors speak English? Not a bit, but they're going to work it out. So don't worry about a thing. And they do amazing dub jobs in this to make it more palatable. And the one actor is always American or English, and they're normal, and everyone else is kind of has their big Italian accent around it, but they dub them. So don't worry. This movie is sexy. It's like sexy horror. It's from the 70s or 69. It could even be 69 or 71, something like that. It is so much fun. I agree that Suspiria is the better movie, but Deep Red is a ton of fun, and you can really get a nice introduction into giallo, and like you'll get tons of close-ups of leather gloves going on. That's very giallo. You'll get another close-up of the hand grabbing the knife. Dude, that's so giallo. You'll see red light. Anytime you see red light, that means someone's about to die. We stole that. I know what you did last summer. That's very giallo. It's such a cool movie. Super sexy, super hot, super Italian. Jeff, go ahead.
This is my last one. It's the only one I got. And it's, again, very, very unusual. Don't expect a lot from it, but it's one of the greatest actors of our generation, Nicolas Cage. Oh, yeah. And the movie's called Mandy. And it's very weird.
Mandy, but I saw the trailer.
Oh, it's so weird. But it's I don't know why. Well, first time I saw it, I hated it. And then I watched it again. I was like, this is pretty cool, because the only way I was able to watch it is, sometimes you'll try to rent a movie or something and it says you can only purchase it.
Yes.
So then you're like, screw it, we'll just purchase it. And then so like, because I purchased it, now it's just stuck on my iTunes. And so I watched it again and I was like, actually, this is pretty cool. And I think if you do drugs, you'll really like Mandy. Yeah. I am sober and clean 1 year this Wednesday. So by the time you're watching this, I've been clean and sober for a year.
My last one is a B movie. It comes from the Corman family, from his wife this time. It's a great 80s movie. It's super short because it's a B film. This is a great thing to put on in the background while you're handing out candy or if you're making dinner for your family. It is called Chopping Mall, not Shopping Mall, Chopping Mall. And it's murderous security robots that destroy a bunch of mall employees who stay late to party and fuck. And they're all fucked at the end of the movie. And
I'm in.
I thought, the people might need a little sexy time. You know what I mean? Like the 80s B movies give us a little nudity too. Some people might need a little sexy, and we haven't given them any. So this one gives us a little sexy time, which is always important. And just know, if they're going to commit that cardinal sin, they're going to freaking die, because you always get punished for having sexy time in a horror movie. No one that gets laid lives. That's kind of a rule. And they stay true to it in this one. And the security bots are hysterical. This movie's super funny. You'll have a great time watching it. Is it as funny as Slumber Party Massacre 2, which is basically the third act's a weird musical? No. But it's super, super funny. You'll love the robots. I have a friend who has a tattoo of one of the robots on his fucking leg. That's how much he loved the movie. That's hardcore. But I've seen people with wrestler tattoos as well. So you're hardcore. You guys might be bros. Chopping Mall is my final one. Jeff, you want to give any Halloween wishes to the people before we leave them?
I'm going to actually ask them to engage with us a little bit. So here's the thing. I love Halloween. Every year I have multiple costumes, because I keep like kind of a closet of costumes. So
Me too, bro. Yeah, costume
So
bros.
this year for Halloween, I've decided to dress up as Carrot Top, right? I love Carrot Top.
You're going to get super jacked, bro.
Yeah, no, I got the muscles too. It's a great costume. You'll see the picture of it. I FaceTimed Carrot Top of me dressed as him. I'm post a video of that too. But every year one of the costumes, whether I only have 2 costumes or whether I have 5 costumes, every year, one of the repeat costumes is the man, the myth, the legend, La Parka. I dress as La Parka at least once a year where I go. It's one of my favorite things to do, the little dance. I have a folding chair. Like, I love La Parka. He's the man. But what I'd like, the reason I'm telling you guys all this is because I would like you to submit to us in any way you can. Tweet, Instagram, I don't know, email or text Alex, our producer.
Tag us on Instagram with your
we want to see your
sure.
costumes. Send us your costumes, especially if they're wrestling costumes, but any costume will do. Your kids' costumes, we want to see them. I love Halloween and I want to see them.
Yeah, we're equal opportunity costume lovers. We don't discriminate. I have a closet full of cool costumes too that I got to show you next time you come over, and a room
I've
full
seen
of
all
masks.
your masks. You have so many.
Yeah,
great
if you need to
masks.
borrow some shit, man, let me know.
I love it. I love it.
All right, everybody. You guys, let me know if you need to borrow some shit too. Peace.
This has been a production of iHeart's My Cultura Podcast Network. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.